Hello. So today we're going to do lab 1 on Tableau on database connection with Excel. So this is Excel. We're going to try to open an Excel file. Let's choose lab 1. So we use data connections. Right. So it's coming up. So here we got the data source name, and we're going to rename the data source to here. We're going to rename this to order data. Okay, so one step under the sheet, we want to change this to under the sheet here, we want to drag the order. Right, so you choose order. Right, under the data source, we're going to drag the orders to this canvas here. So this is the live connections you can see over here. So you got the sheets, you can close it. Okay, then what are we supposed to do? Manage the mega data names. Right, so these are the first few. These are the manage the mega names. Right, that's the mega to open. You can open it if you want to. Right, there you can rename. Okay, click the row and rename to row ID. That's what you want to do. I think so. Rename the row. So you can actually rename the row. Rename the row to row ID. Let's just check it out. So just changing some label. And another one is the global area. So this global area, we want to rename it to country. Right, so that's changing the mega data. Right, to the country field. Right, so where's the country field? Right, so this is actually a string. Right, you notice this is a string. You can actually change to select the geographic row. Or you select this icon to geography row. Yeah. So you want to change the string to the data type to geography row, and select the country and region. So you can see that's changed to a group over here. So now we choose, after you change the data type of the field, right, name, and you can click on the sheet number 1 to get a blank worksheet. Right, so click on the drop down arrow next to the field called country. So look for your country, the drop down arrow, right, and note the menus there. You can make some mega changes over here as well, right, and you can also change the addition, such as change the convert to measure or measure to dimensions. Okay, so there are some places that you can change. Right, so now we try to change and save a database. Right, so let's move on to another database. So open the Tableau Desktop again. So open the Tableau Desktop. Let's try and choose another Excel. Let's just open the desktop on the startup page again. Let's try a new. We'll just show a startup page again. Okay, so let's try Excel. And now we're going to choose Hurricane. This is the task number 2 that we are doing. So once you open, it's going to open the query. Now you're going to drag the Hurricane data to the canvas over here. And click on the sheet 1 to open the Tableau Desktop workspace. And now we're going to right click on this latitude, degree, and rename it first. Right? So you can see there's convert to dimensions here. Rename to latitude. They're just teaching you how to change some of this label. And this change to longitude. Okay. So right click and change the latitude to group. Right. Change to this to longitude. So it become a group. Group here, a group symbol. Drag the category view from measures to dimension. Which is to convert lah, not drag. You convert to dimension. Right. So right click on the category, select the properties, select default properties and change color. Under the data item, assign brown color. So to assign brown color to category 4. So maybe here you choose number 4, right? And number 5, choose gray. So you choose number 5 and gray. So it becomes gray color. So you can actually change the color of different data items. And of course, you just press OK. Right. So on the data menu, right click on the Hurricane data. So on the data menu, right click on the Hurricane, and we are supposed to add to the save data source. And you're just trying to save this data source. Right, so let's just save it over here, same place, or we just give it another name, or you can just overwrite, doesn't matter. Okay, so this is to store the metadata edited that you have done, and also the data that you have extracted and some of the calculated field information. So you can share this data with your co-workers. So now move on to task number 3, where we learn about join tables and to build a view. So we try to open a join database worksheet. So we can go to view, open, right? So trying to bring up the lab 1, where we're supposed to use one of the joint data, right? So this is a package book. Somebody already packaged it. Just like just now we have done the mega data, we rename and do some adjustment. So once you open up this, click on the, it's still opening, sorry. Okay, so once it's open, you can expand. So now we're going to work on this. Click on the data source, and you got this superstore. Okay, so wait for it to come up. Okay, this is a superstore, and you can drag in the order tables first. Drag the order tables, and you're going to drag the return tables also. So orders plus the sales that going to return. So drag to the right. Okay, so there you have, you might need to special that the orders here. Let's just check in the data source for the order. Select the order view. This is where's the order view. Okay, the order view, you're going to map it to, because it's joining the table from, and close. So now it's got a proper link. Edit the relationship, close the edit relationship just now, and click on the shift tab at the bottom left. Right, so drag the return count table. Let's say there's a to the column return count. Let's it should be return count. Okay, there's a return count. Drag to the column, right, and then drag the return count. Is this the return count? And this is so the row. Drag category. Where's the category? Sorry, drag the category should. Did you find the category? Oh yeah, here. To the rows. There you have something like this. Right? Right? It looks something like this. And you can, on the number of records exist, is it here? Let's just see whether we can sort. Okay, here. Couldn't find it. I think yeah, that's the place where you can do the sort. Okay, so there's a sort icon right at the bottom here. You can do a sort, and you can reverse the sort. I think yeah, so you can sort it. So once you sort it properly, you can also try to fit the view, the entire view. So you get the entire view being fit into this, right? The barcode. And let's just rename the worksheets to order return. So this just return. Rename the order sheet. Orders return. Something like this. Or return. Now we're going to brand the data in from the tool source. So now we're going to open another workbook. Right. Another workbook. Brand data workbook. So open. Is it opening? Just take a while because I think I got too many books open up. I hope it's opening. Oh yeah, it seems that it's running. Yeah. Take a while, take a while. So just be patient and explode this. So now we're gonna click on explode order tab. So you can see there's a tab called explore orders, right? So notice that the explore order used the order data source, right? That data source include labels, brands, rubber bands, and store organizations. Right? Click on the Explore Target tab, right? And you notice that this doesn't have some of the users the target data, right? Source, and it include the deco, but it does not present other data. This does not represent the order data source. It also doesn't include, just now I mentioned, label, rubber band, and store, right? So now we're going to click on the order tabs. Also, just browsing through. Okay, so neither of the data is being selected over here, right? So in the data panel, we're going to select the order tables, data source, right? So once you choose that, you can drag your sales to the column and give you the sum, and also category to the row, category to the row. There you have a nice graph that we have seen earlier. So they are all blue marks checked. On the order worksheets, right, in the data panel, select the target. So now we're going to change to the next data source, target, right? And you notice that there's this orange thing, right? The orange bar appear on the left side of the data panel, indicating that this will be the secondary data source, right? It's not the main, just not the main, it's actually the order. So now we drag the quota to the sales axis. Oh man, we drag it here. Right, so let's try. Drag it here. And there you have two. Right, so you've got this two quota and sales, quota and sales. Right, so interesting things happen. And you notice that this also change, right? Change. Yeah, you notice that this has changed to a orange secondary data source. On the order worksheets, right, in this panel, select the data source, right? So now we change. You got see there's two color, blue and orange, primary and secondary. Right, so next move on. Drag the measure names. Okay, drag the measure names. Right here, the measure names to color. So drag to the marks table. You can actually edit the different color on the marks. Okay, so you can click on the color. Click on the color to edit the color. You can select the quota and select maybe green color. You see, this is a blue. You don't like blue, you can change to green, I think. So just change. So now become green color. Yeah. And do the same for sales, right? If you want to change another color. So let's just change to, which should I change to? Okay, let's just change. Edit the color. So now change like the same as your quota, we change to red. And sales we change to green. That will be the same as your exercise, right? So in the bottom right, you can choose the null, click the null indicator and show at default position. Can huh? So that's what I do. And click on the target tab. Okay, now we should move on to the target tab. In the data panel, select the target database, drag the quota to the columns, drag the category to the row itself. Okay, more or less you get the same. On the target worksheet, okay, in the data, select the order data source. Now you choose the data source again. Right, in the drag the sales to the quota, drag the sales to the quota. Sales. to the quota axis. Sorry, did I miss any step? Let me just move back a bit. Okay, select the order data source. I drag the cells to the quota axis. Drag the cells to the quota axis, isn't it? Oh, here, sorry, quota axis. So you just drag to here, right? So we got two quota axis. Drag the target worksheet in the target worksheet in the line drag. Select now, you select the target, right? And then choose the measure names and drag it to the color of the mark stay cut. Okay, and then now you edit the color, right? Select the quota and pick a different color. Okay, just pick a different color. Pick any color lah. Purple. And then you have different color. Now in the bottom right, okay, and then just choose the default setting again. Right. Did something change? Combine result. So click on the order tab again. So now you click on the order, right? This result actually includes. Oh, now we check. How come my data didn't combine? Is it I haven't fit? Okay, fit the entire row. No, this is how you fit. So it now looks the same, looks the same. I was wondering how come it looks different. Right? So now if I choose this, got the target order. So click on the order. Got the label. Click on the target tab. So now this is this. This also need to fit the entire view. So this is the entire view. Entire view got the labels. I got some other things that's not. So now we are combining this two workshop. This got no label but got the deco, right? So we got to put. Okay. So you want can merge. So let's check how we can actually merge it. So here didn't show us how to merge. Task 4, see. So union data and merge data. So open now. So try to open another worksheet, which is open union data. Right. So open it. Okay, it's opening. So now we're gonna choose in the data says right, so we're gonna choose the data source. Take a while, take a while. Okay, once you got that, we're gonna drag the element table to the data field. Right? And then we're going to drag the more hazelnut. Sorry, which one? Let me remove this again. Let me try again. Hazel, and we're going to drop it. Yeah, we're going to put it in here, not that. Okay, so we're going to put a union, right? So you can see something like this. It's a union. I think it's called union, right? Okay, let's just do it again. Edit the union. It's union again. Okay, let's just try again. Drag this, and we're going to put under the union. Yes, like this. Why is that? Okay, so looks different. Okay, we just create and edit the union. Okay, in the left panel under the sheet, drag into the union table. So we drag some more. Macadamia, pistachio, walnuts also drag into the union with it. Right, like this, I think, yeah. And just click OK. Right, click on the U per pounds. Right, control and click. Twenty. Oh, okay. So you click on this and you click another control here. So that's now selecting both, right? Now you're selecting both and you want to merge it, right? So you can do a right click to merge the mismatch field. You notice now the two column, I've just merged it, right? Then double click on this to rename. I think you want to rename it. So rename it to U per X ace. So we just delete. So we just combine the mismatch. Right? Repeat the same step to rename sheet to right here. There's a sheet, just rename it. Tree nut variety. Cool. Tree nut variety has been. Click on the sheet number 1. At the bottom corner, open the chart designer. Sorry. So then drag the year. Drag the year to the column. Drag the year per hour ace to the row. Bearing to the row 3, not variety, to row 2, marks table, mark card. Oh. Alright, so we got something like this. Ooh, cool. Yeah. Just one on top, one below. So okay. Okay, it doesn't matter. Later we'll shift it. Well, you can move this around, I suppose. Right? So that will make it the same. And we can just choose the entire view so it looks nicer and drag the green to the color marks on the table chart. Right, so we got some color there and fit the entire view. Good. Wow, finally we finished it. Thank you for your attention.